Watch a roulette ball drop and it feels like pure chance. A little silver sphere, bouncing, teasing, landing anywhere. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Before you place a single chip, the ending has already been written. Not for tonight. You might walk out a winner tonight. But for the game itself, a single number bet in American roulette pays 35 to 1. The true odds of hitting it are 37 to 1. Because that wheel has a 0 and a double 0 the payout quietly ignores. That tiny, invisible gap between what you're paid and what you actually risk, that's the entire business. It's not hidden in the fine print, it's built into the shape of the wheel itself. The casino isn't hoping to get lucky against you. It has already done the math, and the math is the point. Most people picture a casino as a place that gambles. Two opponents across a felt table, both taking a risk. The house just betting bigger. Lose enough big bets to enough lucky players, the thinking goes, and the whole place could go under. It's a comforting story, because it means there's a version of the night where you take them down. That's the myth. A casino is not a gambler. A casino is an insurance company wearing neon. An insurer doesn't know whether your house will burn down, but it knows exactly how many houses out of 100,000 will, and it prices every policy so the pool always comes out ahead. A casino does the same thing with bets. It doesn't beat you on one hand, it doesn't need to. It's built to win over millions of hands, and over millions of hands, luck stops existing. What's left is arithmetic. So let's take the machine apart and look at the 3 gears that make it run. Gear 1 is the house edge, a small, permanent tilt baked into every game. It's the average slice of every dollar wagered that the casino expects to keep, and it is never 0. The friendliest game on the floor is blackjack. Play it with perfect strategy and the edge drops to about 0.5%. Still negative, just gently. American roulette runs 5.26%. Slot machines, the loudest, most inviting machines in the building, quietly take somewhere between 2 and 15%. And keno, the game that looks like a harmless lottery ticket, can hand the house 25 to 40% of everything you feed it. There's even a friendlier cousin of American roulette hiding in some rooms, European roulette, with a single 0 instead of a double. That one change cuts the edge nearly in half, to 2.7%. Same wheel, same bets, half the leak. The fact that one missing pocket matters that much tells you everything about how the edge works. It's not a feeling, it's a lever, and the house owns it. But notice what every one of those numbers has in common. They're all positive, for the house. There is no game on the floor where the math favors you. You get to pick how fast you lose, not whether. Now here's the trick that makes the house edge so much bigger than it sounds. Ask most people what a 5% edge costs them, and they'll say, I sit down with $100, I play a few hours, I'm probably out about $5. Wrong, and not by a little. The edge doesn't apply to the money in your pocket. It applies to every dollar you wager, and you wager the same dollars over and over. Think of your bankroll as a bucket of water and the house edge as a tiny hole in the bottom. It's not that you lose 5% of the bucket once. It's that every dollar you pour through the game passes the hole and a little evaporates each time. Bet $5 a spin, and a roulette wheel spins about 50 times an hour. That's $250 wagered every hour. Play for 4 hours, and you haven't risked $100, you've pushed $1,000 across the table. 5% of 1,000 is $50. That's 10 times the loss you expected from the exact same edge. Your original 100 just kept cycling through the hole again and again, quietly leaking on every pass. The longer your money stays in motion, the more of it the math removes. Gear 2 is the reason the casino can print those numbers with total confidence, the law of large numbers. Over a handful of bets, anything can happen. That's why gambling feels alive, why streaks exist, why you can win tonight. But over a huge number of bets, randomness cancels out, and the average locks onto the true odds like a magnet. So the casino stops caring about you specifically. It doesn't need any single player to lose. It needs the crowd to be large. For every $1 million wagered at the roulette tables, it expects to keep about $50,000 and return the other $950,000 to the crowd. Some players leave rich, most leave lighter, and the house collects its 5.26% off the top of all of it, as reliably as a toll booth. The individual gambler feels drama and swings and near misses. The casino, watching thousands of players at once, feels almost none of it. It isn't betting against you, it's taxing the whole room, which sets up Gear 3, and it explains every free thing in the building. If the edge only pays out over time, then the casino's single most valuable resource is your time on the floor. Every extra hour you play is another few $100s pushed through the math. So look again at the free drinks, the free hotel room, the buffet, the loyalty points. Those aren't generosity, and they aren't losses. They're an investment with a guaranteed return. Small gifts that buy them more of the one thing they need, which is you, seated, betting, a little longer. It's why the floor has no clocks and no windows, nothing to remind you the night is passing. The free drink, meanwhile, does double duty. It keeps you in the chair, and it gently dulls the judgment you'd need to leave. Stack those three gears together. A tiny edge on a huge number of bets over as much time as they can buy, and you get an engine that runs at almost incomprehensible scale. In a single year, the casinos on the Las Vegas Strip collected $8.82 billion in gaming revenue. Across all of Nevada, it was a record $15.61 billion. Sit with those numbers for a second. That's not one whale losing a fortune. It's a small percentage, skimmed off a mountain of ordinary bets, from millions of ordinary people, most of whom thought they were only risking a night's fun money. That is not the sound of a lucky year at the tables. That is the house edge, multiplied by the entire betting public, collected one small slice at a time, and it lands in the accounts almost as predictably as rent. A bad month for a casino isn't a month it loses money. It's a month it makes slightly less than it planned to. And here's why the whole thing survives in plain sight. The casino needs you to win sometimes. Constant losing would empty the room and kill the golden goose. So the games are tuned to hand out just enough hope. A jackpot here, a hot streak there, a near miss that feels like it almost hit, to keep everyone coming back for more. When the Wall Street Journal got access to a private database of real gamblers, only 13.5% of them ended up ahead. The other 86% quietly financed the show. And this is the part our memories are terrible at. Everyone remembers the night they won and tells that story for years. Almost nobody keeps a running tally of the ordinary nights they didn't. The wins are vivid, the losses blur. That gap between what you remember and what actually happened is exactly the room the house lives in. So the takeaway isn't never have fun. A few hours at a table is a night out, priced like a night out, as long as you know what you're actually buying. The trap is believing you found a way to beat it. You haven't, because there's nothing to outsmart, no dealer to read, no system to crack. There's only a number, quietly applied to every dollar, for as long as you sit there. The house never needs luck. It just needs you to keep playing, because the longer you play, the more certainly you lose. If breaking down the machinery behind the money is your kind of thing, stick around. This channel takes apart a new one every week.